Today, I had a conversation with an individual who had been a candidate for my organization. And unfortunately, by the time that he had actually applied, we were already giving an offer to someone else. But we had a conversation and I gave him some coaching. I coached him on not only his LinkedIn profile and his resume, but also job searching and interview techniques. This tremendously helped him because short thereafter, he received an offer from another organization. If you're interested in being prepared for your next step in your career, join my school.com community for free today. And today I have a special guest, William Chadwick. He is an impactful human resources professional with nearly 10 years of experience, with a preference for nonprofit organizations because he absolutely loves helping people in need. So he's got a huge heart and he's got a legacy going into organizations and helping them streamline their issues, as well as really building out infrastructure with a people focused impact. So, William, great seeing you again. And just wanted to start off and ask you, how did you come across me? How did you meet me?
Awesome. Again, thank you so much, Tia, for inviting me on this interview. And also, just to reiterate my pronouns, I like to go by he, him. And I also hope you're staying dry on this rainy day in Los Angeles. But it's great that, yes, how we met here. And it was literally out of luck here. As you know, as you stated, I do love working with nonprofit organizations because I love being able to come in and make a very strong impact here. As I was looking for new potential career opportunities in nonprofit sectors, I happened to run across your information on LinkedIn. And so I was like, let me just go ahead and connect with this gentleman here, kind of get more of an understanding of the company that he was previously with here, and kind of get an inside idea of what I can possibly be doing to better myself as a potential candidate for roles here. Even as an HR individual, you still is great to get feedback from other people who has worked in HR here to maybe help advance your skills here and help you increase where you want to be at in the future. So we just happened to connect on LinkedIn and started a great conversation from there.
So, William, what were some of the things that when we were talking about your background, when we were talking about your LinkedIn profile, when we were talking about your resume and also
Mhm.
your job search, what were the things that really popped out that I identified and really helped you with?
Yeah. So some of the things that I thought that I was doing was not really catching a lot of people's eyes. And so sometimes it's good to have another individual who specifically work in talent acquisition and or understanding how companies are recruiting now these days. You pointed out to me that there are key factors that company look for, and the most important thing is advertising yourself. What can you actually do for that company? And by doing for that company, share what you have done for previously companies here when it comes down what your background experience is. Have you helped increase with recruitment? Have you helped decrease in the turnover rates here? How have you helped out that company financially wise in your role here? And some of those things I didn't really think about because what I wanted to focus on my resume was just what my job description was and what I have done, and not bringing in things what I have achieved or what I have accomplished. So you help highlight some of those things in my resume to help it stand out a lot more. Also, as well, you told me that you don't need a 10-page resume here because it can lose people's their attention. Even as adults we have a short attention span, so you want to make sure that your resume highlight what the important things that you can bring for them, and that first comes in with the first couple of things that you bring up in your resume. So you were able to help me create some new ideas and enhancing my resume to help me be a standout candidate for companies that I was interested in looking to working for.
So, did it work out? Did I help improve things?
I think it has helped out and improved a lot because when I revamped the resume here with those ideas and start applying for jobs here, I did start getting a lot more reach out from candidates who said, "Oh, we really like your resume here. Let's actually schedule an interview and talk a little bit more." Because at one point, it's like I was, with my previous resume, I would submit. You would either get the automatic email saying, "We receive your resume here. We'll let you know if you make it to the next round." And that's, you don't hear anything, but it did happen to catch the attention of a lot of people for companies that I was applying for, which was very good because I felt like I was going through a dry spell. But it did catch some people's attention, and I was able to start scheduling some interviews here to possibly be identified as a potential candidate for those companies.
Awesome. So what was it like working with me? I mean, was I easygoing? Do you think like well,
Mhm.
I'll let you explain that.
Prior to me talking to you, because I was also, again, in the transition of moving to a different field in my career, especially after going through a traumatic family loss here, I was kind of going through the emotional situation. And then when, you're applying for jobs and you are getting ghosted, whatnot, it just kind of made even someone who's worked in HR. I always feel like, you should always reach out to candidates regardless if they get the position or not. It just felt made me feel like I was not being valued as a person. So when I had the opportunity to speak with you, it actually made me feel like someone who actually cared, even if I was not working with you at a company. It's just like we had this open conversation that says, "Hey, I want to help this person out here. I want to give them an opportunity to be able to land a successful job at whatever company they want to be at." And that was very inspirational because I was at a low mentally wise where I just felt like, am I not a value enough person? Regardless of where I previously worked at and all my reference from those companies who value my needs and value what I represented and done for that company, it just did not land when I was applying for those companies. So you came in and you made me feel like I was a human being and like I was a person that can do great things for a company because you saw that in me. And so that really, really inspired me a lot. And I think in a time like this where people are, being laid off from their jobs, whatnot, or feel like they're applying for so many jobs, they're not being valued. You made me felt like I can continue to be out there. It's not me. Sometimes it is the company that are recruiting. They're not doing a job. So for me to continue on and not give up, and I think just having that open ear and someone wanting to step in, have that conversation and help out was an amazing thing right here. And I really appreciate you for taking the opportunity to do that because a lot of people wouldn't have done that. They would have just like, okay, whatever. I don't have to really respond to this person on LinkedIn if they've reached out. But it was very inspiring to me for you to actually reach out and take that time out of your schedule to assist me.